Hi QA folks. Today I want to give you example of behavioral or soft skills interview questions from one of my previous interviews recently. So it was positioned for senior software development test engineer, so basically senior QA automation engineer, remote position in US, 110 top salary. It was Microsoft Teams video call, 1 hour. Basically it was 2 interviews, 1 hour each. I just combined them since this is within the same company. But anyway, so another question: tell me about yourself, introduce yourself, tell about your experience, what do you like to do for fun, meaning that what do you do outside of work, what are your hobbies, or something like that. Describe a time when a change caused a problem for your team. I told about unexpected manager change. I will give just brief examples of like quick summaries of my answers, not to make the video too long. And everyone would have each own examples from his own experience. So anyway, give me an example of a time when you involve stakeholders in coming up with continuous improvement actions or alternatives. Told about discussing use cases and acceptance criteria for each user story with product owner and add them into the user story itself in Jira. Describe a situation in which you found it difficult to persuade others to your point of view and why was it difficult. Told about persuading others to use page object pattern. In your professional career, what is the most unique or creative idea that you've ever contributed or come up with? Told about using test automation tools to migrate test cases from one test case management system to another one, so we don't have to do it manually. Describe a time when a customer or internal partner gave you positive feedback about your work standards. Tell me about a project where you weren't given enough time to produce a quality output. Told about situation when we tight deadline for testing and we haven't tested everything fully, but we said that they can go ahead with the deployment because they would do it anyway. They do not listen to QA on this specific company. And I will continue my testing, and I told that I will continue my testing for the next couple of days since we haven't finished everything that we planned because they are unrealistic deadline. If I find something critical, then we can address it afterwards as a hotfix. Describe your biggest disappointment at work and why was it disappointing to you. Told, gave example when I create legitimate bugs, but they gone right away to default state because nobody wants to fix them. So it's discouraging for QA. Next one, tell me about the time when you were particularly satisfied with your work situation. Why was the situation so satisfying? Also standard question, why our company, why do you want to work here? I said something like, I believe that the company is a forward-thinking company that is making a difference in its space, that's not compromising on the quality of their software products. Joining the company would allow me to contribute my skills and talent to the company's success. Next, the second in behavioral interview with the same company, also 1 hour, it was the next day. I'm not sure why they needed 2 of them, because quite honestly questions were almost the same, just a little bit rephrased, but anyway, this is how it was. So tell me a summary, or give me a summary of your roles and responsibilities in your most recent job and the reason for leaving. So basically the same as introduce yourself, tell me about your current project. Have you ever on creating test automation framework or framework for testing or only enhancing existing one? So I've done both, so I told give some more examples of doing both. Have you integrated your test within the pipeline? I answered yes, mostly in Jenkins, GitLab. Also some expanded my questions with some examples. Anything else that you don't have on your resume that you want to call it out? The next one department success often depends on the cooperation with other departments. Give me an example of a plan you have developed to obtain another department's cooperation. Here I talked about a situation when I need to get some additional information from developers. I reached steps where I reached out to developers, gathered some information, created proof of concept project, and got the approval from my manager that it looks good and I can go ahead and implement it fully. Next one, how do you build a partnership? I answered something like based on trust, mutual respect, cooperation with developers, DevOps, and product owners, other QA team members. Sometimes we try to solve a problem on our own, only to discover that others need to be involved in the solution. Give me an example of a time when you took full responsibility for a task, but later found out that you need to include others in the process. So basically it's when you are depending on someone, how do you get it solved? I give an example that I needed to write a pipeline for CI/CD and involve DevOps team because I didn't have enough access to all the infrastructure. Tell me about a time when you work with a direct report team member. With this one, honestly speaking, I was surprised because as this being a senior QA, nobody is reporting to me directly, and they are looking for senior QA, not QA manager. So direct reporting usually is not included for, nobody is reporting for senior QA. You can interact and guide junior team members, but they're not reporting to me. But anyway, when you work with direct report team member or peer to develop an ideal plan, how did you try to gain this person commitment? I replied that I've just said that usually people do not commit to me because I'm a senior technical person, I'm not their manager. All I can do is just to create workarounds to ask people to speed up, but that's all I can do. Because I'm responsible only for myself and my commitments, not for others. It's manager's role to do that and push their employees. Okay, next one. Tell me about a time when you worked with somebody in your team, you suggest solution, and if there was a pushback, how did you convince them? The same question as how do you persuade others? By making demo, outline benefits in comparison, and so on. Tell me about the technique that you have used to generate creative solutions to a business problem. Really strange how it's formulated, but anyway. Give me an example of time when you used one of these techniques. So I give an example. So basically this question is more about innovation and come up with some non-standard solutions for some problems. So I'll give an example of automated partial smoke test in production when we had some technical limitations like cannot placing orders and so on, or creating accounts directly. Look at the problem and solution from a different perspective. And I guess, yeah, this is the last one. Tell me about a time when you are particularly dissatisfied with your work status. Why was the situation unpleasant and what did you do? So basically the same question as tell me about a time when you failed or made a mistake. So I gave an example when I committed to something without investigating it first and I failed to deliver, to automate some tests due to some technical limitations that I was not aware of. There are things that are outside of our control, and we make a commitment thinking that we can do it, but later we can figure out that it's not possible. So I hope it gives you overall idea of what kind of behavioral questions they are asking nowadays. When I will have more examples, I will post them. See you in the next one.